Okay. Now creating vectors, so you can create vector with this um, operator called C. Okay. And we can also set up a vector with vector command. Okay, let's do this. Control Alt I. So we can say vector, okay, and then we can specify the mode and the length. Okay, the default length is 0. So mode, okay, you can say logical or integer or double, okay, or character. Okay. So let's say that we want mode to be double. Okay. And then we print x, and you'll see, well, I have to have a closing quote. Then, so this will set up a vector, so it doesn't have any values yet. Okay. So it's like initializing. It's a numeric vector, there is nothing in it. Okay, so that's one way of creating. Okay. And another way of, and then you can put stuff in it afterwards. Okay. Now you can also create vectors with C command. Okay, let me. Now C is like it's a special case of concatenate. So it will put all of the stuff that you enter inside the parenthesis together into a vector. So if you say 0.5 comma 0.6, then these two numbers will be entered in X. So let's see all the properties of X. Okay, now if you run that, so you get X is 0.5, 0.6, it's a vector of size 2, length is 2, and class is numeric. Now you can set up X in this fashion with it can be other things too, like if you say so now this is a vector. T stands for true and F stands for false. So this is a vector with logical elements. Okay, the class is logical. Okay. And we can have character elements as well. So C, suppose we say A, B, C, 5 like that. Then these values are stored as a. So this is an atomic vector, all the same data type. Okay. Adding elements to a vector. Okay. All right, mixing objects. This is okay. Adding elements to the vector is next. Okay. Okay, so you have now this is a code that we will use quite often. This is like the range command in Python, seq sequence. So this means it will create a sequence 1 through 5. Okay. So, right. So now we want to add some more stuff to it, right? So then we say assign 2x, then you start a C, and then you say x. Okay, so the existing x, and then you add whatever stuff that you want to add, you add to that, like that. Now I have an extra comma here. Okay, so now the numbers 10 and 20 have been added to it. Okay. Mixing objects. So when you have elements that are not of the same data type, right? So now we say we want 1.7 comma A. So now what will happen? Okay. The elements will be, the data type of the elements will be coerced. And that means that the least common data type will be used, whichever data type where all the elements can reside, can exist. So character is the, so A cannot be coerced into a number, and therefore this number will be coerced into a character. So even though you didn't put 1.7 within quotes, okay, it is coerced into that. Okay. Another example, say y is C. Okay. Now we have T and 2, right? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so, well, I should have printed it out. So they both have become numeric. Okay. So here T has been coerced into a number, right? And let's do this, f comma 1, right? So f gets coerced as 0, T gets coerced as 1, okay, and in both of those cases. Now if it is okay, suppose we have x C, okay, we have true and then a character, okay. So now T will be quotes into a character value because A is character. A cannot be changed into a logical value. So T gets T stands for true here, and then that is set up as a character value. And we can have explicit coercion also. So these were implicit coercions, okay, and we have the as dot function, as dot numeric, okay, things like that. Okay, so we have those, and these are explicit coercions. Okay, you do it yourself. Now that is a that is an integer, right? Now you take that x, then you say as numeric x. Okay, remember numeric means floating point. So this will convert x into a floating point number. Okay, so these will be floating points. You're not able to see it, but if you say class here, then you will see that it becomes numeric. It's not integer anymore because you've converted it into numeric, numeric meaning floating point number. Now you can also use as logical, okay, x, then we'll say 0, okay, so false is 0, right? The numerical value of false is 0. Anything positive, it is true. So as logical converts positive values as true and 0 as false. Okay, I wonder what it does to negative values. So as logical, so -1 will be true, I guess. So anything other than 0, positive or negative, is true. And then you can have as character so that will convert the numbers into character values.